What happens when Sierra puts Yandy on blast in front of everyone, exposing shocking claims about Mendeecees? Tensions erupt, secrets unravel, and the entire cast is left speechless. This confrontation might just change everything on Love and Hip Hop. The drama on Love and Hip Hop has always been larger than life. But nothing could have prepared fans or the cast for the firestorm that erupted when Sierra decided to confront Yandy in front of the entire crew. What started as whispers and side conversations quickly turned into one of the most shocking confrontations of the season. And at the center of it all was one named Mendeecees, Sierra. Never one to hold her tongue, had reached her breaking point. For weeks, she had been piecing together conversations, half-truths, and rumors that kept circling around the group. Every time she pressed someone for clarity, the story seemed to change. But one detail kept resurfacing, something about Mendeecees not being fully truthful, and Yandy allegedly protecting him at all costs. Sierra had kept quiet long enough, and in her mind, the time for silence was over. The scene was set at a cast dinner. A moment meant to bring everyone together, clear the air, and maybe move forward after weeks of messy fights. But anyone who's followed Love and Hip Hop knows that these dinners rarely end in peace. Tension always brews just beneath the surface. And Sierra saw her opportunity as everyone settled in. Conversations were lighthearted at first, talk of music projects, kids, and life outside the cameras. But Sierra's eyes never left Yandy. She studied her every move, waiting for the perfect moment to speak. The air grew heavy, and just like that, Sierra dropped the bomb. "Yandy," Sierra said, her voice sharp and unwavering. "Why don't you tell everybody the truth about what's been going on with Mendeecees? Because from where I'm sitting, you've been lying and covering for him this whole time." The table fell silent. Forks froze in midair, conversations cut off. And all eyes darted between Sierra and Yandy. Even Mendeecees, who had been scrolling on his phone, snapped his head up. Yandy's face went pale for a split second before she composed herself. But everyone saw the flicker of shock in her eyes. "What are you even talking about, Sierra?" Yandy shot back, forcing a calm tone, though her hands clenched the table. "You need to be real clear, because you're not about to sit here and throw out lies on my name or my family." Sierra leaned in, refusing to back down. "I don't need to throw lies, Yandy. I got the facts. People have been talking, and I know for a fact that Mendeecees hasn't been keeping it 100. And you've been right there, making sure nobody finds out." The tension was thick enough to choke on. The other cast members exchanged looks, some shocked, others amused, and a few clearly enjoying the spectacle. Rashida tried to intervene, telling Sierra to chill and not make accusations without proof. But Sierra wasn't hearing it. Proof. Sierra laughed bitterly. "I don't talk unless I got receipts, and trust me, I got plenty. I ain't about to let Yandy sit here looking perfect for the cameras while her man is out here lying and sneaking around. This whole time she's been trying to make it seem like their marriage is a goal, like everything is so perfect. But the truth is messy, and I'm done protecting people who don't deserve it." Yandy's eyes burned, her composure unraveling with every word. "First of all, don't speak about my marriage. Second, you need to watch how you come at me, because you don't know what you're talking about. If you had real proof, you would have shown it already instead of sitting here making a scene." Mendeecees finally spoke, his voice calm but edged with irritation. "Look, y'all dragging my name through the dirt for what? I don't have anything to hide. If Sierra has something to say, she needs to say it straight instead of dancing around it." And that was the spark Sierra needed. "Fine," she snapped. "Since you want it straight, here it is. I know about the women, Mendeecees. I know about the little side conversations, the late-night meetups. And I know Yandy's been covering for you because she doesn't want to look stupid in front of the world. You've been lying to her, lying to us, and lying to everybody watching. And I'm sick of it." The cast gasped collectively, some hands flying to mouths in shock. Erica leaned forward, eyes wide, whispering, "Oh my God," while Carly sat back, smirking like she'd just gotten front row seats to the best drama of the year. Yandy slammed her hand on the table, her voice trembling with fury. You will not disrespect me like that. You don't know the ins and outs of my marriage, and you don't get to sit here and air out rumors like they're facts. Whatever issues me and my husband have, they are between us, not you, not the cast, not the fans, us. But Sierra wasn't backing down. See? That's the problem right there. You keep acting like you're above everything, like nobody can call you out. But guess what? I just did. And whether you like it or not, the truth is out now. The energy around the table was explosive. Some cast members tried to calm things down, others encouraged it, and the cameras captured every second. Yandy's eyes welled with tears, not from weakness, but from rage and frustration. She felt cornered, attacked, and betrayed. Mendeecees, on the other hand, stayed unnervingly calm. It's almost as if he'd rehearsed this moment. "Listen," he said slowly, "people are always going to talk. They are always going to make up stories. But I know my truth. Yandy knows my truth, and that's all that matters." But Sierra's laugh cut through his words. "Your truth, or the version of it you tell to keep Yandy in the dark. Because from where I'm standing, your truth is nothing but lies wrapped up in pretty words." The cast was left reeling. Nobody knew what was real and what wasn't. But one thing was undeniable: Sierra had ripped open a wound that Yandy and Mendeecees clearly weren't ready to expose. The confrontation didn't just create drama. It shook the foundation of one of Love and Hip Hop's most prominent couples. And as the cameras kept rolling, fans knew this was only the beginning. The aftermath of Sierra's explosive confrontation with Yandy and Mendeecees didn't just stop at the dinner table. It spread like wildfire across the cast and beyond. The moment Sierra accused Mendeecees of lying and Yandy of covering for him, the energy in the room shifted permanently. For the cast, the question wasn't just, did Sierra cross the line? Was it also telling the truth? Once the cameras cut for the night, the dinner broke apart into smaller circles of whispered conversations. Rashida and Kirk huddled together in the corner, visibly shaken. Erica, Carly, and Spice wasted no time replaying the whole scene, each one adding their own theories and predictions. And Yandy. She stormed out, with Mendeecees following close behind, refusing to give the rest of the cast the satisfaction of seeing her break down further. But behind the scenes, Yandy was devastated. Sierra's words had struck a nerve, not because she fully believed them, but because they echoed whispers that had been chasing her marriage for years. Yandy had always defended Mendeecees, standing by him through prison time, rumors, and public scrutiny. But now, with Sierra putting those same doubts out in the open, Yandy felt exposed and vulnerable in a way she hadn't before. By the next day, the drama was the only topic of conversation among the cast. Sierra, confident in her stance, doubled down on her claims. Meeting with Erica and Carly, she vented about why she felt it was her responsibility to call Yandy out. "Yandy's been acting like she's the first lady of this franchise," Sierra said, rolling her eyes. "She walks around like she's above all of us, like her marriage has goals, and everybody else's lives are messy lives." Well, guess what? Ain't nobody perfect. And if Mendeecees is lying, and I know he is, then the world needs to see that Yandy ain't the exception. Erica smirked, sipping her drink. "Girl, you went for the jugular last night. I mean, you didn't even ease into it. You dropped that bomb right on her head." Carly, never one to miss an opportunity to stir the pot, leaned in. "But do you really have proof? Because if you don't, this could blow back on you." Yandy got fans, and she got power. If you are wrong, this whole thing could make you look jealous or messy. Sierra crossed her arms. "Messy? Please. Messy is pretending like everything is picture perfect when it ain't. I got messages. I got conversations. And I got people who told me things that line up. If Yandy thinks she can just dismiss me like I'm crazy, she's got another thing coming." Meanwhile, Yandy was holed up with Mendeecees, trying to process everything. She couldn't shake Sierra's words, and though she wanted to brush them off as lies, the seed of doubt had been planted. Sitting across from her husband, she finally asked the question that had been weighing on her since the confrontation. "Mendeecees," Yandy said, her voice quieter than usual, "is there anything I need to know?" Anything you haven't told me? Because I just went out there and defended you. And I'm not about to look stupid for something you are hiding. Mendeecees sighed deeply, rubbing his temples. Yandy, I told you last night and I'll tell you again. I don't have anything to hide. People gone talk, Sierra gone run her mouth. But that doesn't mean it's true. You know how this game works. They are trying to come at us because they know we are strong together. But Yandy wasn't convinced. It's not just about Sierra. It's about the fact that she's saying stuff I've already heard before. And if everybody's saying the same thing, then where there's smoke, there might be fire. So don't just tell me it's a lie. Look me in my face and tell me it's not true. For a long moment, Mendeecees just stared at her. The silence louder than words. Finally, he said, "It's not true." But the hesitation before his answer was enough to make Yandy's stomach twist. Back with the rest of the cast, the drama escalated. Rashida, always cautious about getting too involved, tried to mediate when she met up with Sierra later in the week. Sierra, Rashida said, her tone firm but calm. You've got to be careful how you play this. I get you wanted to call Yandy out, but if you're gonna accuse somebody's husband like that, you need to show more than words. Otherwise, you're not just going after him, you're messing with her whole family, her kids, her image. That's deeper than just cast drama. Sierra didn't flinch. I know what I said, and I stand by it. I ain't scared of Yandy's image. I'm not about to let her sit on a pedestal while the rest of us take hits for our drama. If she's gonna put her business out there, it better be real. And if it's fake, I'm calling it out. But not everyone was siding with Sierra. Some cast members felt she crossed the line by airing personal issues in such a public way. In a heated exchange during a group shoot, Erica chimed in again. You know what, Sierra? I love you, but you can't just be the truth police for everybody. Not everything needs to be dragged into the open. If Yandy's marriage has issues, let her deal with that. You making it your business makes you look like you are jealous. That word jealous set Sierra off. Jealous. Girl, please. I got my own man, my own business, my own life. I ain't jealous of Yandy. What I am is tired of her acting like she's untouchable. If she can sit in judgment of the rest of us, then she can take it when the truth comes out. As the cast continued to split into factions, the producers smelled ratings gold. Every new interaction was designed to bring Sierra and Yandy face to face again, and neither woman was willing to back down. The tension grew so thick that even the men started taking sides, with some backing Mendeecees and others quietly admitting Sierra's words might not be baseless for Yandy. Though the damage was already done. Whether Sierra's accusations were true or not, the fact that they were out in the open made her marriage a target. Fans flooded social media with their own theories, dissecting Mendeecees' every move. And Yandy felt her carefully built image starting to crack in private. Yandy told Mendeecees, "This isn't just about us anymore. This is about my name, my brand, everything I've worked for. If Sierra keeps pushing this, it's not just our marriage at stake, it's my whole career." Mendeecees tried to reassure her, but Yandy wasn't sure if his calmness came from confidence or guilt. Back on camera, Sierra showed no signs of slowing down. "People can call me messy all they want," she told the group in her confessional, "but at least I'm being real. And if being real makes me the bad guy, then I'll wear that crown proudly." By the end of the week, the tension between Sierra and Yandy had reached a boiling point, with the rest of the cast waiting for the inevitable explosion that everyone knew was coming. And when it did, it promised to shake the entire franchise to its core. The storm Sierra unleashed with her accusations against Yandy and Mendeecees reached its peak when the cast reunited for another group filming. Everyone knew the energy was explosive, and the producers didn't waste a chance to orchestrate a showdown. By now, the rumor mill was out of control. Blogs, social media accounts, and fan pages were dissecting Sierra's claims, demanding answers from Yandy, whether she wanted to admit it or not. The situation had grown bigger than the cast was now public spectacle. When Yandy walked into the room, the atmosphere was electric. She carried herself with the same poise she was known for, but her eyes gave her away. Behind the calm exterior was exhaustion, hurt, and a quiet fury. Mendeecees stayed by her side, his face unreadable, while Sierra sat on the other side of the room, arms crossed and chin lifted, daring Yandy to address her. The room erupted before anyone could even sit down properly. "You've been running your mouth for weeks." "Sierra," Yandy said, her voice sharp but steady. "So here we are. Say what you gotta say to my face, 'cause I'm tired of hearing it through everybody else." Sierra leaned forward, her tone fiery. "I said what I had to say. Mendeecees has been lying and you've been covering for him. You walk around like your marriage is perfect, like you're better than everybody else, but you're not. You're human and your husband. He's not who you think he is." The words hung heavy in the air. The cast, circling the confrontation, sat in stunned silence. Some nodded subtly in support of Sierra, while others looked uncomfortable. Hoping the conversation wouldn't drag them into the line of fire, Yandy shook her head, finally allowing her frustration to show. "You keep saying the same thing, Sierra. But where's your proof? All you've done is spread rumors. You want to tear me down because you don't like the way I carry myself. That's not true. That's jealousy. Let's call it what it is. That accusation was gasoline on the fire." Sierra's voice rose, full of rage. "Jealous? You really think I want your life? Please, Yandy, I don't want no man who lies. And I don't want to cry myself to sleep every night pretending my marriage is perfect for the cameras. That's your life, not mine." The words cut deep. The cast collectively gasped as Yandy's composure cracked. Tears welled in her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Mendeecees stepped in, finally raising his voice. "You need to stop disrespecting my wife," he snapped, glaring at Sierra. "You don't know what goes on in our household, and you have no right to speak on it. You're trying to come at me, but all you're doing is making yourself look desperate for attention." Sierra stood, pointing directly at him. "Desperate? No, I'm not desperate. I'm done letting you play in Yandy's face while she defends you like a fool. You out here talking to women behind her back, and you think nobody knows? Well, I know, and I ain't scared to say it." Gasps filled the room once again. Rashida buried her face in her hands while Carly leaned in closer, not wanting to miss a second. Erica shook her head but couldn't hide the flicker of curiosity in her eyes. Yandy's voice finally broke, the pain clear in every word. "You don't get to decide what my marriage is or isn't, Sierra. If me and my husband have problems, that's between us. Not you, not the cast, not the fans, us. And you will not embarrass me or my family any further." But Sierra wasn't done. She pulled out her phone, waving it in the air. "You want proof? I got text messages. I got screenshots. I got conversations that show Mendeecees hasn't been as faithful as he claims. You think I'm just talking for the cameras? No, baby, I got receipts. No, baby, I got receipts." The room erupted into chaos. Cast members shouted over one another, some begging Sierra to put the phone away, others demanding she show the proof. Mendeecees slammed his hand on the table, his confrontation breaking for the first time. "Don't you dare pull out my private business like that," he barked. "That's not proof, that's you trying to twist things. I don't owe you an explanation about my marriage. I owe it to my wife, and that's it." Yandy, torn between anger and devastation, turned to him. "So what is she talking about, Mendeecees? Are there messages? Are there things you haven't told me?" For the first time all season, Mendeecees hesitated. The silence that followed was louder than anything he could have said. Yandy's face fell, her tears finally breaking free. The entire cast froze, waiting for his answer. But none came. Sierra lowered her phone, her voice quieter but sharper than ever. "See? You don't even deny it." That silence is the answer Yandy's been afraid to hear. The room was stunned. Yandy, trembling with rage and heartbreak, stood from the table. "You humiliated me," she said, her voice shaking. "You sat here knowing Sierra had something and you let me defend you. You let me fight for you. While you couldn't even look me in the eye and tell me the truth." Mendeecees reached for her, but she pulled back. "Don't touch me. I need space." With that, Yandy stormed out. tears streaming down her face, leaving the room heavy with silence. The rest of the cast sat in stunned disbelief, watching Mendeecees sit back down, his head in his hands. Sierra, though victorious in exposing the truth, didn't look smug. She looked almost regretful, as if realizing the weight of what she'd just unleashed. In her confessional later, Sierra explained her side. "I didn't want to hurt Yandy, but I couldn't watch her keep defending a man who wasn't being real with her. If it was me, I'd want somebody to tell me. And if that makes me the villain, so be it. At least I told the truth." Yandy's confessional, however, painted a different picture. "Sierra didn't do this for me, she did it for herself. She wanted to embarrass me, and she succeeded. But at the end of the day, this isn't about Sierra. This is about me and Mendeecees. And whether our marriage can survive the lies." The season closed with a cliffhanger, Yandy packing her bags, refusing to say whether she was leaving Mendeecees for good. Sierra, standing by her choices, insisted she had no regrets, and Mendeecees, left to face the fallout, finally admitted that the truth might destroy everything he'd built. The fallout from this confrontation will go down as one of the most unforgettable moments in love and hip-hop history, a reminder that when secrets come to light, they don't just break relationships. They break trust, reputations, and families. And this time, there was no turning back. If you've been keeping up with this explosive love and hip-hop drama, you already know things are only getting crazier. Sierra putting Yandy on blast, Mendeecees being accused of lying, and the cast caught right in the middle. It's the kind of showdown you don't want to miss. So tell me, whose side are you on? Do you think Sierra is just stirring the pot? Or is Yandy hiding something big about Mendeecees? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're loving this tea. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update, because trust me, the next chapter in this saga is going to shake the entire cast. Stay tuned. More drama is coming, and you won't believe who's about to jump into this feud next.